right, welcome back from the quick break. It's Talk Sport on Global Television, and the King of Sport is ready and ready to go. We'll be talking about big issues. Already, I told you one woman, her name Mary Epps, has the woman in the trending right now in sport because she is the BBC Woman Sport of the Year with her amazing performance during the FIFA World Cup last in Down Under in Australia, where Nigeria also did well. And we also had our own goalkeeper, Chiamaka Nnadozie, coming out tops at the last CAF Awards, where she became the best goalkeeper in Africa. So it means that this is the year of goalkeepers and female goalkeepers for that matter. All right, I told you we'll be joined via Zoom by Frank Idemudia Alapa, who is the GM Sport 24 from South Sudan. He'll be joining us to x-ray the UEFA Champions League draws that is out now. So we're going to be seeing exciting times when it comes to the round leader game. All right, I hope my producer will be linking us up with Frank Idemudia once he's join us via Zoom. But let's just have a picture of the Champions League draws as it is currently. Let's see who plays who in the UEFA Champions League with the draws that is already out. Let's see the draws on the screen so that we can see what team is facing which team. Already we know that Man City, Real Madrid will be facing Leipzig already. That's going to make up a very interesting matchup. Real Madrid is also in the mix. We've got Barcelona also in the mix. Arsenal also in the draws for the last 16. All right, I'm hoping my producer will be able to display the Champions League draws pictures on the screen so that sports fans can be able to relate to the draws already out there for us to see. All right, just to also let you know that Arsenal has been handed a boost in terms of their pursuit for Ivan Toney, as Brentford chief admits, with £100 million rated striker could leave very shortly. Yes, that's what the Brentford chief has said, that the £100 million rated striker in person of Ivan Toney might be leaving Brentford very soon. So it means what it means is that Arsenal and Brentford are reaching some bit of a compromise as to regards getting that striker moving from Brentford to the Gunners. So that's good news for Arsenal fans. We're still expecting the pictures of the Champions League on the screen so that we can relate with that. All right, that's it on the screen there. We've got Arsenal taking on FC Porto of Portugal. That's the draw for last 16. We've got Napoli. Victor Osimhen of Nigeria's Napoli will be facing Barcelona. That's going to make for a very interesting matchup. We've got PSG. Paris Saint-Germain of France will be trading tackles with we'll be trading tackles with Real Sociedad of Spain, while Inter Milan of Italy will trade tackles with Atletico Madrid. That's going to be a very tough one there. Then PSV, I beg your pardon, of Holland will be trading tackles with Borussia Dortmund of Germany. So it's Holland versus Germany in that matchup there. We've got Lazio. FC Lazio of Italy will trade tackles with Bayern Munich of Germany. That's Bundesliga versus Serie A. That's going to be a very titanic one there. Let's also see, we have FC Copenhagen of Denmark will take on Manchester City. Yes, the blue side of Manchester will host Copenhagen. We remember very well that Copenhagen was the team that made sure Manchester United did not qualify for the last 16 after beating and getting a draw against the Red Devils. RB Leipzig will face the might of Real Madrid. So it's the Galacticos versus Real Madrid in that matchup. All right, let's get, we are supposed to be joined by Frank Alapa. Hello, Frank. Nice to have you join us. Hello, Frank Alapa.
Yeah, what's up, Tony? How you doing?
I'm fine. Let's look at the UEFA Champions League draws. I think I'd like my producer to leave the draws on the... Okay, yes, sir. So let's look at the draws. We've got FC Porto will trade tackled with Arsenal. What's your expectation in that matchup, last 16? Hello. Hello, Frank. All right, I think we're finding it difficult to establish contact with Frank Alapa. We had him. Frank, let's look at the Champions League matchup. It's FC Porto versus Arsenal. What's your take on that matchup? Hello. All right, finding it hard to establish a contact. He's still on the Zoom room waiting for him to be admitted. So producer, please do well to let Frank Alapa into the room so that we can have him live and get his take on this Champions League matchup. All right, I think let's get him directly and hear what. Hello. Okay, we're still looking at the Champions League last 16 drop up where we have FC Porto taking on Arsenal. Napoli takes on Barcelona, while PSG takes on Real Sociedad. And we've got Inter Milan taking on Atletico Madrid. And we've got PSV taking on Borussia Dortmund. That's the lineup there. Okay, Frank, can you hear me? Hello, Frank. Frank, can you hear me? Okay, let's look at the Champions League last 16 draw. There's FC Porto taking on Arsenal. What's your take on that matchup? Frank? All right, I think let's run for a quick break. When we come back from the break, we'll be looking at, let's sort out these technical issues, and then we'll be able to look at the last 16 draw and give a very balanced analysis of the draws between these great teams in the Champions League last 16. All right, welcome back from that quick break. Sorry for all the technical hitches beyond our control, but we've got Frank Alapa, the GM24 Sport man from South Sudan, helping us. Let's look at the Champions League draws again as the last 16. We're getting to the business end of the Champions League. All right, Frank, nice to have you join us on Talk Sport this morning.
Good to be with you, Tony. Good to be with you.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, let's look at the matchup. We've got FC Porto of Portugal versus Arsenal of England. How exciting is that draw going to be, and is there a way out for the Gunners?
It will be very difficult or very foolhardy to bet against Arsenal right now, because Arsenal have placed themselves as one of the elites, or one of the favorites. Yes, that's the word I was looking for. One of the favorites for Europe right now. FC Porto, well, you know that they are always in this mix, but once it comes to this position, getting into this round, this is the delicate round where the big teams, or the teams with a measure of depth, will be firing on all cylinders. They will put on their afterburners, and this is coming out next year. The first match will be next year on Wednesday, the 21st of February. I don't see, in as much as it's very difficult to start predicting now, because by next year you have a different ball game entirely. You want to look at the head-to-head of these two teams. Arsenal has won against Porto 3 times. Porto has won twice. Arsenal has a knack of scoring against Porto. 12 goals for and 4 goals against. And Arsenal in the league, and they are playing a brand of football that is very fantastic. On the other hand, for Porto, well, you can't really predict which of the Porto will be coming in. You want to be romantic about the likes of Pepe and some of the other players that they have. Okay. But I think that on the strength of this form now, you want to say that Arsenal has the edge. But you never know what happens after the winter break and after next year, when these clubs are really gunning for the title.
All right.
If it becomes too difficult, I see Arsenal dropping the Champions League and gunning for the title.
Okay, let's look at in terms of experience, in terms of tradition. Porto is a former Champions League winner. Arsenal has never won the Champions League. Wouldn't that count for Porto? The fact that they were former champions, don't they have that pedigree to subdue the Gunners?
Well, pedigree doesn't play football. Present form plays football. And like I said, the only strong traditional person that has tasted the Champions League is somebody who is about in his 40s. Porto were runners-up in the group. Arsenal won their group convincingly. So I don't expect, if you go by the form now, you want to say Arsenal are shoe in for the next round come next year. But it is what's happening, and with competition right now in the Premier League, you want to look at the competition in the Premier League and the time they will be playing this round, and that will be in the February, in the thick of the race to the top of the Premier League. This is where the likes of Liverpool, Manchester City, and most surprisingly, Arsenal will Aston Villa will turn on the afterburners. A team like Manchester City would be on a 5-6 match winning streak. Liverpool will be putting on the afterburners.
Wow.
This is the period Arsenal will want to roll the dice and say we either want to go for the league or continue our sojourn in the Champions League. Do they have the depth for it? What do they exactly want? And so it is a dicey affair. I will go back to today's form. The last time we spoke, I told you that you do not judge the Champions League in December. Right now, a lot of people are in good form. But after winter, the Premier League will not go on the winter break. The Portuguese League will go on the winter break. And when they come back, they'll be more refreshed, and Arsenal will probably be tired and have a lot of injury worries, and they want to concern themselves with the league.
All right.
Will they want to relegate the Champions League to the back and face it? But on good form and play, Arsenal should pick it up. But hey, this is the Champions League.
All right, let's look at the next matchup. We've got a Nigerian interest there, where Napoli will be facing Barcelona. Barcelona not too good, doing so well in the La Liga. They are 9 points adrift of the league leaders, who are Girona, and Napoli has got a Nigerian-born Victor Osimhen, your favorite player, on fire. How do you see this? Is it going to be a sweep? Easy ride for Napoli?
Unfortunately, both of them are riding the same boat right now.
Okay.
In form. If I can remember, Barcelona have not exactly been in good form because they have had a lot of injury worries. Lewandowski is not firing, but form is temporal. Class is permanent.
True.
And that's one thing. When most people are talking about the present form of Barcelona, I laugh. They played 1-1 with Valencia the last match, last time out, which was surprising. And Lewandowski was just abysmal. In their last Champions League match, they were beaten by Antwerp, even though they've already qualified. And then they lost to Girona. Yeah, I got that right.
Yeah, but
so
okay.
we want to start jumping. If we want to start jumping on that gun, that what's his name, Napoli with Victor Osimhen, who I love so much, are in fantastic form. You also want to look at Victor Osimhen's Napoli. They lost Spalletti, who brought them to that point where they won the league. They got another coach, Rui Garcia, and now they have Walter Mazzarri. They are not settled. Napoli is not settled. They are not in the top 5 in the league right now in the Serie A, and Victor Osimhen is trying as much as possible to ensure that he gets his bearing right, whether to stay, whether to go, or whether the players are in tune or are in sync with him. So if there's any team that is exactly settled, it is not Napoli.
All right.
It is Barcelona. Barcelona has their style of play to fall back on. They have their academy to fall back on. And when push comes to solve, if they really need to go, it now comes to mental fortitude. Which team has the mental fortitude to sustain in this round of 16 come February? For me, for Napoli, there's only one person or one or two persons with that kind of mental fortitude: Osimhen and maybe their captain Lorenzo.
Okay.
In Corasteria right now, it doesn't seem settled. But for Barcelona, they have a system of play that they might end up falling back on. So, for this match, even though we are still in December, looking forward to February, I want to say that the team with the foundation would win it, and that's Barca. Unfortunately, I love my Osimhen, and he will just be coming back from the Nations Cup. He might not be as pumped up by then. I don't know what will happen to Nigeria then. Well, that's another story for another.
All right, who knows? Maybe the Super Eagles will be coming back with a trophy then. All right, let's look at, we've got PSG. We've got Paris Saint-Germain of France. We'll be taking on Real Sociedad. That should be an easy walk for Mbappe and the boys.
Well, it should be an easy workout. They've never met before. Sociedad and the Parisians have never met before. It's expected that this should be a good one for Kylian Mbappe if they are, again, it is how much settled that they will be. You never know which Paris team that is going to play. You are going to play against. It might be the effervescent Paris team that can just blow you out of the water, or you can just meet the team that just don't care. They've just finished eating and their belly is full and they're okay. Okay. So PSG and Real Sociedad, you just want to throw the dice. It's expected that PSG is going to win it because they have the stars to go for them. And Sociedad is not exactly that kind of a team that you expect would give them trouble.
Okay.
So this one here, again, once you hit that January, the home stretch, the small teams whittle away, the big teams put on the afterburners.
All right.
Here, I think PSG's afterburners will burn away Sociedad.
All right. Let's look at. Could we term this the match? The match of all matches, Inter Milan taking out Atletico Madrid. Could that be the main match of the round of 16 in terms of the quality and what these two sides are likely to give to us? Talking about Inter Milan taking out Atletico Madrid, would that be the daredevil match?
No.
Okay.
I don't think it will be a double match. I think Inter, with their current form and their style of play and the experience of last year's Champions League, are better suited for this. Atletico Madrid are yet to find their bearing this season. Yes, you have what's his name now, Griezmann, really pulling his weight, but Atletico.
What of Morata? You've got Morata. Alvaro Morata has been in fine form recently. He has been scoring goals.
Well, Morata is scoring goals, but for some time now, Morata has not banged in yet.
True.
It has been tipsy-turvy as usual for Morata. Okay. You know, when people say Morata is a top goal scorer, it makes me laugh. Because Morata can go 5 matches and not score. He scores in patches. He's not
consistent. He's not consistent.
He's not a consistent goal scorer. No, his XG ratio is less than 1. And so I really don't give regards to. And then Atletico Madrid likes playing the low block and hitting you on a counter attack, making it difficult for you and building from defense and hitting on a counter attack. That's what what's his name? Their coach, Simone. That's the way he loves to play. And so, but if you look at the way Inzaghi was playing, or how he arranges his team.
Yeah.
Last season, we were playing more of counter-attacking football, and that's how they got to the finals. The first straight, you play low block and come hit you with Lautaro Martinez with speed and all that, coming to scoring the goals. And this time around, they've added
Okay.
ability to hold the ball right now. They know how to vary play. That's why they were able to demolish Napoli 3-0. Napoli were doing all the attacking. They kept Napoli at arm's length and hit them. Same thing they did with their last match. So for me, I think I know a lot of Atletico Madrid romantic supporters will not like this. It's going to be an easy match for Inter because Atletico will play into the hands of Inter.
Okay.
They would think that by playing a low block, they will win, but that wouldn't work because by the time you are breaking away, Inter plays transition defense. They just like how Klopp would want to play it in the midfield, and then they take the ball from you, and then Lautaro Martinez has hit a rich vein of form. He's scoring, and he's not the only one scoring. Thuram is scoring, and they have support systems. So it's for me. Most people might think that it's a battle of this. No, it's going to be easy for Inter.
Okay.
If Inter carries this same form, Inter will blow Atletico out of the water.
Oh boy, oh boy. All right, let's quickly run into the next matchup with PSV versus Borussia Dortmund. Are these teams equally matched up?
Now, if you are going to talk about a match for the neutrals, that will be very interesting. This is the match because these guys, they love to entertain. Sure. These two guys, they just love to play entertainment football. Everything goes. They all guns go. Everybody runs. Lost like a primary school student when they're playing football. It's one win, it's one goals. This is how it's going to be. I hope the major problem for Borussia Dortmund is injury. Will Reus be in form? And all their players, will they be good? If the players of Dortmund are injury-free, we are going to see an exciting match. PSV, on the other hand, they have been winning their matches. They are on a run of they are on a 5-match unbeaten form, and they were able to hold Arsenal to a 1-1 draw in Holland. That's not a main field. Remember, they defeated Sevilla by 3-2 away. So it's an attacking side. They love to attack. Same thing with Borussia Dortmund. Now, Borussia Dortmund, they just love to play. So this is the match that, for the neutrals, if you want to see interesting football, sit back, relax, and just don't put your money anywhere. Just enjoy the game, because it's going to be a whole lot of goals in this game. And it could go any way. It could go PSV way. It could go Dortmund way. This match can go anywhere. But trust me, goals, as a pundit, you will have more than 2.5 number of goals. This is a guarantee for that.
All right, a guarantee for that. We'll be looking keenly to see that your prediction works out, talking about PSV and Borussia Dortmund. All right, the next matchup takes us to Italy, where we've got Italian Lazio taking on the might of the Bundesliga, talking about Bayern Munich. This should be a titanic battle between Bayern Munich and Lazio. What's your take on this matchup?
I fear for your choice of word. Titanic battle between who and who?
Because Bayern is a big team from the Bundesliga. Lazio has not been doing bad in the Italian league.
Lazio have been losing as if they're.
We're talking about the Champions League and not the Italian league. You must remember that fact.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
No, the Champions League is different from the Italian league. There are teams that do not have form in their home league, but when it comes to the Champions League, they do great.
Wait, no, okay, look at that. I don't have pictures, but I'm trying to place it in my head.
Okay.
Lazio lost 2-0 to Inter Milan just a couple of days ago in the Italian Serie A.
You mentioned Barcelona playing a 1-1 draw with Valencia, but you still believe they could spring surprises because of their academy and all that to beat a Napoli team. How does that work?
Now, this is why I don't, unfortunately, as much as I am a big fan of their coach, unfortunately, I don't rate Lazio in the Champions League because of their form in the league.
But they're in the last 16. They're in the last 16. Yeah.
They're in the last 16, yes, I agree with that. Why do I put my position this way? Because if you look at it, in the second half of the season, Tony, if you remember, when towards the end of the season, the Italian teams do not exactly, how would I put it, they are not for the sprint.
Okay.
They don't exactly.
True, I get that.
They don't exactly do well in European competitions if they are not firing on all cylinders January, February. And that's Lazio is not exactly on a good form right now. I'm trying to remember where they are on the league. Lazio currently.
But remember,
they are currently in the 11th position in the league.
Remember, we're looking at the matches coming next year. We're not talking about the match happening right now. So you have to put that into consideration.
Lazio is not doing well. Lazio is not doing well in the league. They are in
currently. But these matches are coming next year.
Lazio has won only 6. They have only 21 points. That's not a team you want to bank on to play against Bayern. Because right now, what they will be concentrating on is getting out of the lower half of the league, trying to probably get into Europa. Lazio is not doing well in the league. They are not scoring goals. That's the problem. That's why Ciro Immobile has only scored 4 goals this season. That is strange. So there's something wrong with Lazio. That's what I mean. And you must really look at that. This is Ciro Immobile here that is usually in the conversation of the Capocannoniere, the highest goal scorer in Italy. But this time around, Lazio is not doing well. And so you're going to play against a very angry Bayern Munich who have a point to prove. You are playing against Harry Kane, who has scored 20 goals this season and who is in contention of the European golden boot. You're going to be playing against some very angry players who want to prove a point.
All right.
Harry Kane wants to win something. And so if Lazio come with this form and they are struggling in 11th position, trying to get into the top half, or trying to get into Europa position, which would be their main target, they will chicken out of the Champions League. I tell you, I don't see Napoli posing a threat to Bayern Munich. They will just probably show up, do one or two things, and fizzle out to go and concentrate on the league. Because 11th position for Napoli is not a good one. They really need to climb up. And Ciro Immobile is not in fine form. 4 goals. No, come on, no.
All right.
I don't know this season.
All right, let's wrap up our conversation quickly. Copenhagen takes on Man City. RB Leipzig takes on the Galacticos Real Madrid. Your take on these two matchups?
Well, congratulations to Copenhagen. They got to the round of 16 for the first time. Goodbye, Copenhagen. Go
home. Are you being fair? This football, anything can happen.
I don't understand what you mean by defense. Should I be unfair to Man City and say that with the firepower they have, they'll be shooting blanks? I don't understand what you are saying. Copenhagen have gotten to where they can get to. They've gotten there. They played against a disheveled Manchester United. They played against an inconsistent Galatasaray, and they were fortunate that the only other big team there did their business, and then they had the opportunity to qualify. Because right now, I can tell you for free that if Manchester United were put together, Copenhagen has no business to be in round 16. They should probably be struggling with the Europa or that. Then for RB Leipzig, this is the match I would say I need to be careful about, because RB Leipzig can be a bunch of surprise sometimes. The German side, they play very fast football and they love to attack. You want to, for those who love the Galacticos, Real Madrid, you want to pray for them and the injury worries. They keep on having, Alapa just recently had a cruciate injury which has ruled him out for the season. They have their goalkeeper is out for the season. A lot of injury worries, which is the effect of playing so many matches and then rescheduling of so many matches. So I hope that they can manage what they have when it comes to February, because they'll be gone. This is Real Madrid. Real Madrid does not apply brakes or slow down. They want to win everything, and they have a special affinity with the Champions League. And you know Carlo Ancelotti, they want it all. Florentino Perez wants it all. He doesn't care. That's why he plays the big box. So I'm really hoping that Real Madrid will be fit, because against the RB Leipzig, you know that you will have a team that don't care about the defense but just want to attack you, and that can wear you down. So for me, that's a match that you want to keep a side eye. According to Nigeria, you want to look at them with some level of bombastic eye. That is it. But I'll be like, on paper, 60 to 40% a win for Real Madrid. But hey, it's a 2-game match. I see small surprise. Why? Because the level of competition for Real Madrid and the number of players they have on the sidelines might eventually affect them.
All right, let's wrap it up. Let's away from the Champions League last 16, we're looking at a likely transfer business for January. We see that Arsenal are gunning for Ivan Toney of Brentford, and the Brentford chief has come out this morning to say the £100 million rated striker could leave anytime soon. Do you think Arsenal is making the right choice for going for Ivan Toney instead of maybe Osimhen?
Tony, you will know that in my last post on YouTube, We Talk Sports 360, Ivan Toney is nothing compared to Victor Osimhen. And for me, if Arsenal is serious about challenging for the title, they don't need, it is not, as much as we say he's an English player, Ivan Toney is not the class of player that they need. You need somebody that has in his repertoire the ability to score 30 goals. and that's Victor Osimhen for you. But Victor Osimhen, except you have the release clause of 130 million, you can't get him. And I don't think Arsenal will be able to get him in the January transfer window. So if you go ahead and waste your money and go and buy Ivan Toney, Ivan Toney is a big fish in a small pond. When you get into the when you get into the big ocean, such players cannot take the pressure and they fizzled out. And that's the unfortunate thing about some of these guys. I'm telling you, he plays for Brentford. How many goals was he scoring? He was getting double figures, scoring a lot of penalties and doing a lot of tap-ins. When it comes to the nitty-gritty of people who study, you know where your leg is, know how you turn. That's the case of Anthony of Manchester United. When he was playing in a small league in Ajax, everybody felt that all those roundabout turn that he used to do with one leg was a big deal. But when he came to the Premier League, faster, physical, and more aggressive and more studious, he is finding it difficult to adapt. And that's going to be the story of Ivan Toney in an Arsenal side. Arsenal are an upwardly mobile team. They have a target on their back. So they need somebody with a champion's pedigree, not somebody who is coming from the championship to come and play. If you buy Ivan Toney, congratulations, you will score. That's just having a Gabriel Jesus who plays as a number 9. You will not get the number of goals that you deserve.
All right.
The players will bully you, they will push you, and you will cause a lot of fouls. If Toney is not the man, that will be a mistake for them.
All right, let's end our conversation today on Talk Sport with a big story about one woman, Mary Epps, who is the BBC Sportswoman of the Year. For you, how impressive has this woman done? We saw her the World Cup. We saw how she made Nike change their mindset as per the jerseys for females, the goalkeeper especially. Do you think she deserves this accolade? All right, lost him there, but just to talk about, I hope my producer has the picture of Mary Epps there as regards winning the BBC Sportswoman of the Year. That award just to show her performance at the World Cup and how much she has done for the 3 Lionesses of England. And congratulations to her and the entire team for the great job they have done in taking English football, talking about the women football now, and also making... All right, Frank, are you back with us?
Yeah, I am. Sorry about it. I think we have network issues around.
All right, let's look at Mary Epps, the British woman who is the BBC Sportswoman of the Year. We saw her join the World Cup for the Lionesses, great goalkeeping, achievement. For you, does she deserve that award? Hello? Hello, Frank? Okay, I think he just lost the sound there. Okay, Frank, if you can hear me, just to get your take on Mary Epps' award as the BBC Sports Woman of the Year award, and if you think she deserves it, but technical issues are trying to do us in already. But time is not our friend this morning. So we're going to call it a wrap on the program, Sports Talk Sports, this morning on Global Television. I want to say a big thank you to everyone who was part of this production. For all sports fans, I hope you had fun getting very grand analysis from Frank Alapa as regards the Champions League pairings. Now you have an idea what to expect when the matches and the Titanic matches begin next year, talking about the last 16 pair-ups of the UEFA Champions League there. All right, I don't know if Frank is still trying to get across to us. Hello, Frank. Hello, Frank. Hello, Frank. Okay, I think we lost him there. All right, so that's how we call it a wrap on today's edition of the program. Thank you very much for joining me. Hopefully tomorrow is going to be more exciting. Hopefully we're having some guests join us live in the studios so that we can do analysis of other big exciting stories in the world of sport. Good morning, sports fans.